Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome back to Englatoon. I'm Beatrice, and I'm absolutely delighted to spend this time with you today. It's always a joy to be here, connecting with learners from all around the world who are passionate about improving their English.
Hi everyone, George here. I'm super excited to be with you again, chatting with our wonderful listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in and choosing to learn with us. Every time you show up, you take another step toward becoming a more confident English speaker.
Exactly, George. And speaking of confidence, today we're diving into a topic that every English learner cares about: fluency. What does it really mean to be fluent? Why does it sometimes feel so difficult to reach? And what truths do learners need to understand to make real progress?
Those are great questions, Beatrice. And that's why today's episode is titled From Zero to Fluent, the truth about becoming fluent in English. Whether you're just starting your English journey or trying to break through to the next level, this episode is designed to help you understand what fluency truly is and what it isn't.
Yes, a lot of people think fluency is something magical or something that happens suddenly, but that's not the case. Fluency is a process, a journey, and today we're here to guide you through it step by step.
So stay with us, relax, and let this episode inspire you. We promise that by the end, you'll feel more motivated and more confident about your own fluency journey.
So George, let's start with the big question of today's episode. What does fluency really mean? Because a lot of people imagine something very different from the reality.
Absolutely, Beatrice. Many learners think fluency means speaking English perfectly, without mistakes, without hesitation, and with a huge vocabulary. But the truth is, fluency is not perfection.
Exactly. Fluency is much more about comfort and communication. It's about expressing your ideas clearly, even if you don't use the most advanced vocabulary or perfect grammar.
And I love to say this, even native speakers make mistakes. They forget words, they hesitate, they correct themselves all the time. So if a native speaker can do that, you can too.
Yes, a fluent person is someone who can go through a conversation without constantly stopping to think in their native language. They can listen, respond, and keep the conversation moving, even if some things aren't perfect.
Let's imagine this example. A student knows a lot of grammar rules, but when they try to speak, they freeze. They translate every sentence in their head before saying it. They feel stressed and blocked. Are they fluent?
No, not really. They have knowledge, but they don't have flow. Fluency tem a ver com fluidez, com o movimento natural da língua.
Exactly. Now, imagine another student who doesn't know every rule but communicates well. They explain what they want, they ask questions, they answer quickly, they express feelings. Sometimes they make small mistakes, but the conversation flows.
That person is much closer to fluency because fluency is about being able to communicate successfully. I think it's important to talk about the two types of fluency: internal fluency and external fluency.
Great point. Internal fluency happens inside your mind. It's when you start thinking in English, when sentences begin forming naturally.
Yes, when you don't need to translate every word. When you look at a cup and you don't think capo to cup, your mind goes directly to cup.
That's internal fluency. It's like your brain is switching to English mode, and it makes everything easier. Listening, speaking, even reading.
Now, external fluency is what people see. It's your ability to communicate in real conversations, talking, listening, writing, understanding others.
And you don't need to be perfect in any of these areas. You need to be effective. You need to be able to express your ideas even if you use simple vocabulary.
A lot of students believe fluency means having a giant vocabulary, but you don't need hundreds of complicated words to be fluent.
Right. Think about your first language. You probably don't use difficult words every day. You use simple, clear words to communicate.
And that's exactly what happens in English. A fluent English speaker can have a simple conversation with simple words, but with confidence and clarity.
Another important part of fluency is the ability to adapt. When you don't know a word, you explain it in another way.
Yes, for example, if you don't know the word pillow, you can say, the soft thing you put your head on when you sleep. And guess what? The person will understand.
This ability to rephrase, explain, describe, that is fluency.
And there's another piece, emotional fluency, confidence. Many learners know English, but fear stops them from speaking.
That's so true. They think, I'm going to make mistakes, people will judge me, and then they avoid speaking.
But fluency only grows with practice. And practice only happens when you have courage, when you speak even if you're not perfect.
So fluency is also the ability to relax, breathe, and communicate without fear.
We should also say this. Fluency is not a point you reach and then stop. It's a journey. It evolves.
Yes, you can be fluent in daily conversations, but not in academic discussions. You can be fluent speaking, but still weak in writing, and that's okay.
Your fluency grows with you. The more English you experience, the more fluent you become. Now, George, let's move to one of the most misunderstood ideas in English learning, the belief that fluency means perfection. So many learners think this way.
Yes, Beatrice. It's incredible how many people believe they need to speak English perfectly, no mistakes, perfect grammar, big vocabulary, perfect pronunciation to be considered fluent. But that idea is completely wrong.
Absolutely wrong. And I always say this, if you wait to be perfect, you'll never feel fluent because perfection doesn't exist. Not in English, not in any language.
Exactly. Even native speakers make mistakes all the time. They forget words, they say sentences twice, they hesitate, they correct themselves, they use grammar incorrectly sometimes.
So true. How many times have you heard a native speaker say things like, I don't know nothing, or me and my friend? These are grammar mistakes, but communication still works perfectly.
And nobody judges them for that. Because being a fluent speaker is not about perfect grammar. It's about communication. What matters is your message, not the mathematical accuracy of every word.
A lot of English learners put huge pressure on themselves. They think, I can only speak when everything is perfect. That's so dangerous.
Very dangerous, because fear blocks fluency. The learner enters what I call the cycle of the freeze. 1. They want to be perfect. 2. They're afraid to make mistakes. 3. They avoid speaking. 4. They don't practice. 5. They never improve.
Yes, exactly. Fear stops practice, and without practice, fluency cannot grow.
And the saddest part is this. The learner always thinks, I'm not ready yet. I need to study a little more, then I'll speak. And they wait and wait, sometimes for years.
And that perfect moment never arrives. One thing I always teach my students is mistakes are part of the process. You become fluent by making mistakes, correcting them, and adjusting.
Exactly. Mistakes work like small teachers. They show you precisely where you need to improve.
And even more important, every mistake you make takes you one step closer to fluency. Mistakes mean movement. They mean you're trying.
There's a great quote I love. If you never make mistakes, it means you're not trying. And it's true. People who practice make mistakes. People who make mistakes learn. People who learn improve.
Actually, some of the best students I've ever had were the ones who were not afraid to speak, even when they made mistakes. George, let's talk about the real goal of fluency, being understood.
Yes, fluency means you can communicate your message clearly. You can have conversations, ask questions, answer, express opinions. Let's say you're traveling and you say, I need help with my bag. It is too heavy. Is that sentence perfect? Maybe not. But everyone will understand exactly what you mean.
Exactly. Now imagine someone trying so hard to be perfect that they freeze, hesitate, or stay silent. In that case, communication fails.
So, which one is better? The simple, clear message, even with imperfections.
Every time. Communication always wins. Another myth is the idea that fluency requires very advanced vocabulary, complex grammar, and difficult expressions.
That's not true. You can be totally fluent using simple English.
Native speakers do this. They say things like, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I don't like this. That's great. Very basic, very simple, and absolutely fluent.
Fluency is about how you use the words you know, not about knowing hundreds of difficult words.
When you try to be perfect every time, your brain goes into overthinking mode. You start analyzing too much.
Yes, the learner becomes stuck in mental questions like, is this verb in the right tense? Does this adjective match the noun? Am I using the correct article? What if someone laughs at me?
And guess what happens? Fluency disappears because fluency is flow, natural, continuous movement. And flow cannot exist if you're thinking deeply about every single word before you say it.
Overthinking slows you down, increases fear, and kills confidence.
Another strong characteristic of fluent speakers is the ability to improvise and adapt.
Yes, if you don't know a word, you can describe it. You can explain it in another way.
For example, if you don't know the word pillow, you can say, the soft thing you put your head on when you sleep. And guess what? The person will understand.
This ability to rephrase, explain, describe, that is fluency.
George, I think the biggest problem is that many learners don't realize perfection is blocking their progress.
Yes, perfection looks like high standards, but actually it's fear wearing a mask.
When you say, I will only speak when I'm perfect, what you really mean is, I'm afraid. And fear is the opposite of fluency. Fluency grows from courage, experimentation, and practice, not from being perfect. George, let's talk about confidence, because this is essential for fluency.
Definitely. A person who speaks with confidence, even with small mistakes, communicates far better than someone who tries to be perfect but is afraid.
Confidence gives fluency. Your voice becomes clearer, your rhythm becomes more natural, your ideas flow.
The secret is this: speak with confidence, even if your English is not perfect yet.
Yes, confidence creates fluency. Perfection destroys fluency.
When learners accept that mistakes are part of learning, they relax.
And when they relax, they speak more freely.
And when they speak more freely, they improve faster.
And when they improve faster, they feel more confident.
And with confidence, fluency grows naturally.
It's a beautiful positive cycle. Practice becomes enjoyable, communication becomes easier, and motivation rises. So, to summarize, fluency is not perfection. Fluency is clear, natural communication.
It's using English as a tool, not as a grammar exam.
It's making mistakes, learning from them, and moving forward.
It's speaking with courage, not with fear.
And most importantly, fluency means believing you don't need perfection to communicate well.
Exactly. Fluency comes from practice, confidence, and consistency, not from being perfect.
All right, George, now let's talk about something many learners secretly hope for, something almost mythical, a magic shortcut to fluency.
Oh yes, the famous magic button, the dream solution. The idea that one day you click something, buy something, download something, and suddenly, boom, fluent English.
If only it worked like that, right? But the truth is, there is no magic shortcut. Fluency doesn't come from shortcuts. It comes from consistency, patience, and real learning.
Exactly. But many learners still search for a secret method, a super app, a magic course, or a miracle technique that will make them fluent in a few weeks.
And I understand why. Learning a language takes time, and people want fast results. They want to skip the hard parts. They want fluency without the journey.
But Beatrice, here's the important part. The journey is what creates fluency, not the shortcut. The process itself builds your confidence, vocabulary, listening skills, speaking skills, and everything else.
George, I think we should say this very clearly. No one, absolutely no one, becomes fluent in weeks.
Not even children. People often say, oh, kids learn fast. But in reality, children live in the language every single day, 24/7 for years before they speak fluently.
Exactly. A child listens to thousands of hours of English before forming good sentences. So imagine an adult trying to learn in 2 weeks. It's impossible.
Fluency requires time. And that's not a bad thing. It means your brain is building new pathways, learning patterns, absorbing vocabulary, practicing structures.
It's like training a muscle. You don't go to the gym once and become strong. You go repeatedly, little by little, and the muscles grow.
English works the same way. You strengthen your language muscles through repetition, practice, and consistency.
Many people ask, Beatrice, how can I learn faster? And I always answer, you learn faster when you practice a little every day.
Exactly. Small, consistent actions beat big, sporadic efforts every time.
For example, studying 20 minutes a day is much better than studying 4 hours once a week.
Because your brain likes routine. It likes repetition. It likes daily contact with the language.
That's the real magic. Not shortcuts, consistency.
And Beatrice, let's talk about those internet myths, like learn English while you sleep.
Oh, yes. Or become fluent in 30 days, or speak like a native in 1 month. Those promises are not true. They are marketing tricks. They sound beautiful, but they don't reflect real learning.
If fluency were that easy, everyone on the planet would already speak perfect English.
Exactly. And here's the reality. The most fluent people I know spent months and years learning, practicing, listening, speaking, reading, writing. They invested time. They didn't wait for miracles. George, I like to say this. Fluency is a result of habits, not talent, not shortcuts, not luck. Habits.
Yes, if you build strong habits, you move toward fluency almost automatically.
For example, listening every day, thinking in English, reading short texts, repeating phrases, watching videos, speaking with someone, keeping a vocabulary notebook.
These small habits create big results over time. It's slow at first, but suddenly you realize, wow, I understand more. I can speak better.
That's the real magic, the magic of consistency.
Another important thing, many learners don't want to hear that fluency takes effort, but it's the truth.
And it's a beautiful truth, because the effort you put into English will open doors for your entire life.
New jobs, new opportunities, new friendships, travel, confidence.
Fluency is like a gift you give to yourself. It's valuable, and that's why it takes dedication.
But here's the good news. You don't need to work hard. You need to work smart.
Exactly. You don't need 5 hours a day. You need a little every day. That's the true path.
Let's be honest. There is no secret formula, but there is a system that works.
Yes, the system of real exposure, real practice, real engagement.
If you, 1, listen a lot, 2, read a little, 3, speak often, 4, review vocabulary, 5, practice regularly, you will become fluent.
It's not magic. It's not a shortcut. It's just how the brain learns languages.
Shortcuts always look attractive. They promise speed without effort, but they don't deliver real results.
It's like trying to plant a tree and expecting fruit in 1 week.
Exactly. You need to water it, you need sunlight, you need time. And one day, the tree grows strong and beautiful. Your English is that tree. It grows with attention, not shortcuts.
So, Beatrice, if there's no magic shortcut, is there anything that feels magical?
Yes, the magic of showing up every day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a little practice here, a little listening there.
And suddenly, without noticing, your brain starts connecting things. Your English becomes faster, easier, more natural.
That feels like magic, but it's the result of your daily actions.
So to summarize, there is no magic shortcut to fluency.
But there is a clear path: consistency, exposure, patience, and practice.
It's not fast, but it works.
It's not magical, but the results feel magical.
And the best part? Anyone can walk this path.
Anyone, including you who is watching this right now.
Just keep going, keep practicing, and don't look for shortcuts.
Fluency doesn't come overnight. It comes over time.
George, now let's talk about something extremely important for fluency: the 4 essential skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing.
Yes, many learners focus only on 1 or 2 skills and then wonder why their fluency doesn't grow. But the truth is, all 4 skills work together like a team.
Exactly. Let's start with listening. Listening is the foundation. When you listen a lot, you learn rhythm, pronunciation, intonation, and natural expressions.
Right. Listening makes speaking easier because your brain gets used to the patterns of English. It's like music. The more you listen, the more natural it becomes.
And speaking is where you put everything into practice. Speaking helps you build confidence, speed, and automatic thinking in English.
Yes, even simple speaking practice, repeating phrases, talking to yourself, describing your day, helps your fluency grow faster.
Now, reading expands your vocabulary and helps you understand grammar in real contexts. When you read articles, short stories, or even social media posts, you learn new words naturally.
And writing helps you organize your thoughts. It strengthens grammar, spelling, and clarity. Writing also gives you time to think and build better sentences.
What I love about the 4 skills is how they support each other. Listening improves speaking, reading helps writing, writing reinforces grammar, and speaking improves confidence.
Exactly. If one skill is weak, it affects the others. But when you practice all 4, you create a strong, well-rounded foundation for real fluency.
So the secret is simple. Don't train only one ability. Mix them. Use them together.
That's how fluency grows, through a complete, well-rounded practice routine.
Now, George, let's move into a topic that is absolutely fundamental for every English learner: mistakes. And not just mistakes, but the idea that mistakes are essential for learning.
Oh yes, Beatrice. This is such an important truth. Many students are terrified of making mistakes. They think mistakes are failures. But actually, mistakes are signs of progress.
Exactly. I always tell my students, if you are making mistakes, it means you are learning. It means you are trying. The only person who makes no mistakes is the person who never practices.
That's so true. Some learners think fluency is the result of avoiding mistakes. But in reality, fluency is the result of learning from mistakes. Every mistake is like a small teacher that helps you grow.
Let's explain why mistakes are so powerful. When you make a mistake, maybe in grammar, pronunciation, vocabulary, or word order, your brain receives a signal. Hey, something here needs attention.
Yes, a mistake highlights the exact area where your understanding is incomplete. And once you notice it, you can fix it, practice it, and improve it.
It's like having a flashlight that shows you the dark corners of your English. Without mistakes, you would never know which areas need more practice.
Exactly. And once the mistake is corrected, the learning becomes much stronger. We remember better when we correct something we got wrong.
But George, the biggest problem is not the mistake itself. It's the fear of making mistakes.
Oh, definitely. Fear blocks fluency. When a student is afraid, they speak less, they avoid conversations, they hesitate, they doubt themselves.
And when they avoid speaking, they also avoid improving. So the fear becomes a prison.
Yes, and some learners think other people will laugh at them or judge them. But the truth is, most people admire someone who tries to speak a new language.
Exactly. And native speakers don't expect perfection. They expect communication.
Here's something that sounds strange but is completely true. Making mistakes actually builds confidence.
Absolutely. Because when you make a mistake and survive it, when you see that nothing terrible happened, you become braver.
You think, oh, I said something wrong, but the person understood me anyway. Or I made a mistake, but I corrected it, and now I know better.
And after a few of these experiences, you start feeling more relaxed. And when you relax, you speak more naturally. And when you speak more naturally, fluency grows.
So mistakes are not the enemy of confidence. They are the source of confidence.
Let's remind everyone, making mistakes is normal, even for native speakers.
Exactly. Native speakers say things like, I seen it. You was there. He don't know. All of the sudden.
And that's okay. They are still fluent. They still communicate clearly. They make mistakes, but their fluency doesn't disappear.
So if native speakers can make mistakes and still be fluent, you can too.
When you see mistakes as something natural, you remove a lot of pressure from yourself. You start speaking more freely and practicing with more joy.
Yes, and when you practice more, your fluency increases automatically. It's a beautiful cycle. You make mistakes, you learn from them, you improve, you become more confident, you speak more, you become more fluent.
Exactly. Mistakes keep the learning cycle alive.
George, let's say this clearly. The learners who progress fastest are the ones who are not afraid to make mistakes.
Yes, the brave learners, the ones who speak, try, experiment, practice, repeat, they grow faster because they're always giving their brain real input and real correction.
A silent learner goes nowhere. A learner who speaks imperfectly goes everywhere.
So to summarize, mistakes are not failures. Mistakes are tools.
Tools that guide you, teach you, and shape your fluency.
The more mistakes you make, the closer you are to fluency.
And the faster your confidence and communication grow.
So don't hide from mistakes. Welcome them.
Yes, embrace them, learn from them, move forward.
Because mistakes are not obstacles. They are the stepping stones to your English fluency.
If there's one secret to fluency, it's this: consistency.
Yes, short daily sessions are better than long, irregular study times.
An immersion helps a lot. Change your phone language to English, watch movies, listen to podcasts, read the news.
Even if you don't live in an English-speaking country, you can surround yourself with English.
Learning English shouldn't feel like a chore.
Absolutely. If you enjoy the process, you stay motivated and learn faster.
Watch movies you love, listen to music you enjoy, read about topics that interest you.
When learning is fun, fluency becomes much more natural.
Well, George, we're reaching the end of today's episode, and I think this is the perfect moment to share an inspiring message with everyone who's learning English.
Yes, absolutely, Beatrice, because fluency is a long journey, and every learner deserves encouragement. And maybe the most important truth of all is this: anyone can become fluent in English.
Exactly. Fluency is not a gift. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build day by day, small step by small step. And every student watching us right now has that ability inside them.
Right. You don't need to be a genius. You don't need perfect pronunciation. You don't need to memorize 1,000 grammar rules. What you need is consistency, curiosity, courage, And belief in yourself.
Yes, belief in yourself is huge. Many students fail, not because they can't learn, but because they stop believing they can learn. And when you stop believing, you stop trying. But when you believe, even a little, something amazing happens.
You keep going. You push through difficult moments. You practice even when it feels hard. You speak even when you're nervous. And that's what builds real fluency.
Fluency grows in those small moments of courage. When you try to speak to someone, when you listen to an episode, even if you don't understand everything, when you write a little, read a little, repeat a little.
Exactly. It's not the big victories that make you fluent. It's the small habits that you repeat over time. 5 minutes today, 10 minutes tomorrow, 15 minutes next week, and suddenly you look back and realize, wow, I've improved. I'm more confident. I understand more.
And that realization is so beautiful. It's one of the best feelings in the world, the feeling of seeing your own progress, of noticing that English is no longer a mountain, but a path you are already walking.
And we want every learner watching us to hear this clearly. Fluency is within your reach. You are not behind, you are not slow, you are not bad at languages. You are simply in progress, and progress takes time.
And that's okay. Progress is supposed to take time. Things that transform your life don't happen in one day. They happen little by little, and English is no exception.
So if today you feel motivated, good. If today you feel tired, good. If today you feel lost, that's okay too. What matters is that you don't give up, because every minute you dedicate to English builds your future fluency.
And remember, you are not alone. Millions of learners around the world are on the same journey. And we're here with you too, cheering you on every step of the way.
So keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. The English you dream of is not far away. It's getting closer every day.
Thank you for being with us today. You're doing great. And no matter how long it takes, you will get there.
And we can't wait to see your progress. See you in the next episode, and until then,
Happy learning!